You guys, welcome to an all new week. This is a pop culture roundup with finally we got her back. We miss her like hell when she's gone. And listen, we've got to be gentle on Sophie today. I mean, even though she's tougher than most of us, is because the Bengals just the game just happened and she's doing this after the game. And unfortunately they lost. And I was even watching the second, third, and some of the fourth, but they got so anyway. Sophie Ross, let's just get into it. How are you? How do you feel when something like this happens?
Oh, I'm sad. Obviously, it's disappointing. I'm excited to jump right into this so I don't have to process my emotions yet. But yeah, I'm really
Burn
sad.
Kansas down. Burn it down.
What isn't it Kansas City? Isn't it Missouri though? Either way.
I don't know, man.
Either way, fuck Kansas City. And also, that was rigged, and I'm not even trying to sound like a sore loser. Everyone on Twitter is saying it, that the refs were not making any calls against the Chiefs and making bogus ones against the Bengals. Either way, though, I'm not being a sore loser. I'm very proud of this team. Also, Ryan just said something hilarious. He was like, wait, the game was tied, so I just turned it off. I was like, wait, when the game is tied,
no. Let me explain. I want to say, I can't handle that kind of stress. It's way I was like, I don't know how you guys do it. In fact, all you sports fans, I would almost rather they play the game, they don't let anybody watch, and then they just tell you afterwards if your team won or not. And that way you don't have to want to shit yourself for a full quarter of a game, where I was sitting there and I'm invested in it just because I want Sophie to be happy. So I'm sitting there going pull it out. And then it was tied. And I'm they kept tying. And I was I can't do this to myself. I'm going to go crazy. And I turned on Real Housewives of Potomac, which was even worse, because then I had to hear Giselle talking about licking vagina. And I was no, never say that again, Giselle. So it was a lose-lose.
Yeah, it was definitely stressful. That's for sure. It was stressful, all right.
Well, Joe Burrow, he looks like he's 22 years old. The guy looks like he has 30 more seasons in the NFL ahead of him. And that Patrick Mahomes guy, I'm sorry, I know everybody likes him, but I don't like him. I'm just going to say it right now. I don't think that's a good guy.
Why?
I will say it because he looks bad. There's something about his look it just seems evil. And the way he was limping on one of those feet too, I noticed. And I was you guys sweep the leg. His ankle.
No, he's playing on he got a high ankle sprain last weekend. He's playing on it. Everyone was how are you playing on that? That's kind of a semi-serious injury. And he was limping. I like Patrick Mahomes. I like Andy Reid. I would like the Chiefs if they weren't kind of our rival right now. But his wife, Brittany Mahomes, people cannot stand her. And a lot of it is I think misogynistic, but she's also just very obnoxious. And then his brother also is Jackson Mahomes, the TikToker. He's been kind of quiet this year, but those two, he's attached to two really annoying people that people really don't like. But generally, I think
who do you root for now? Who do you root? The Chiefs or the Eagles? Who do you root for?
I guess I'm rooting for the Eagles because that's my boyfriend's team. And I was stressed about the Eagles and the Bengals playing each other. Deep down, I was hoping that it would be the Bengals and the 49ers because I didn't want to have to deal with playing each other in the Super Bowl. But now that the Bengals are out, I guess I'll root for the Eagles, I guess. Sure.
Well, I'm crushed. And this is why I'm not going to ever get into sports. It's too much. And by the way, we do look at pop culture and Housewives the same way we do as sports. I just said, I passionately hate that guy Mahomes, and I don't know that guy from Adam, but I'm the same way with Housewives too, where I'll be I fucking hate that housewife. And I really like this season, I hate Heather Gay. And I hate her with a passion this season. It's wild.
Sucks.
She
sucks so bad. She sucks so bad. And I love how with all of this coming out about Rugged 4, Real Housewives of Ultimate Girls Trip.
Yeah, we'll get it. Rugged.
So everything coming out about Rugged 4, it sounds so incredible that everyone has already forgotten that Rugged season 3 filmed last summer and still hasn't aired. And it's because it's Whitney and Heather Leah McSweeney, Candace, fun to watch. Who else? As soon as I saw Whitney and Heather, Giselle. As soon as I saw Whitney and Heather, I was like, I just don't care about watching Whitney and Heather. I don't. I really don't.
Listen, I will say though, when at BravoCon, they had a panel and they showed the preview. The preview actually looked good. And what fascinated me about it is that Whitney and Heather were like, they hate each other they hated each other so much on that stage that day that I was like, wow, something really bad continues to happen in this. But I'm even talking about Salt Lake this week. That was such a mess of a reunion, mess of a season. And you guys let Jen take away, go with the season. Did you go to dearjen.com and put in your information to get the real true story of Jen Shah?
Absolutely not. Did you?
Well, I signed you up. I signed all your email addresses up, and I got your mom in on there.
Yeah, if you ask my mom for like my social security number, you could so be like, I'm trying to send Sophie, I'm trying to wire Sophie some money, or like say that you're doing something nice, she would give it to you.
Well, what right mind does Jen Shah think she should put out something where she collects anybody's information? I know that's an obvious joke, but like she did that an hour before the reunion aired. And I'm sorry, like I think Meredith and Heather look like dodo birds and all, everybody has their favorites, sure. But just look at the facts. Like nobody can agree that Heather was like it's not even blind loyalty. It's at this point dumb. And that black eye, right. I mean, I don't like, do you give a shit about that black eye anymore?
I actually am very angry about it. I'm angry about the fact that Heather was implying that she was assaulted, which is extremely, extremely serious. She knew what she was doing. And I know that there was that Bravo and Cocktails blind item that was like, Heather, it wasn't Heather's idea. It was the producers. It's like, she knew what she was doing, implying that she may have been assaulted. Producers. It's like, it's such bullshit. I'm pissed off that we were all strung along and that we all got invested and it ended up being nothing. Like, that's so frustrating. Just everything about it was so obnoxious.
It's self-producing at its worst. She thinks she's good at self-producing, and it turns out she's horrible at it. But also, they even mentioned that an internal review happened, and that really is true. People could lose their jobs because of that. So her and the Mormon shame thing, I've heard a lot of comments that people are like, well, I understand that. I'm like, okay, I understand shame. I've been drunk many times in my life, but I'm sorry, you weren't ashamed of already like touching tatas with Jen Shah on camera. So then all of a sudden you were shameful about the black eye, but you running around the house lit out of your flipping mind, that was okay, and you weren't ashamed of that. But this part, the black eye, is the part that's too far. It didn't make any sense to me.
Exactly.
Hey, Sophie, you live in New York. Is there any way you could get invited to one of these Anna Delvey soirees at her apartment? She's been having people over, and it's like a big scene over at her tiny little New York apartment.
I truly don't know like how to get on that list, but I am desperate to be. I'm desperate to be. Just for like new investigative purposes. I know it's like the new like It Girl
Studio 54. It's like Wait, Sophie, no, this is actually true. Say you're writing an article and like she'll look you up and know you have credits and then like invite you over, and you could write a piece for your Substack that could actually then get published by other things. Like it's a no-brainer. And in fact, did you read that
that's a good idea.
It's a great idea. A production company, you guys, if you probably already read this, but they picked up the reality show idea where it's going to be people coming over to her apartment and having these kind of like salons where conversation will be happening. It sounds insane, but she's having her, like, you see the wrist, the prison wrist, the ankle thing, the ankle bracelet that she has to wear while she's out of like on parole. She's wearing that in all the photos. The ankle monitor. But like,
I know it's like kind of iconic.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, does she fail upwards? Do we scam upwards now? Is everybody just scam? Like, what is Jen Shah going to host like a show in prison? Like, where does it end?
Is Jen Shah? Yeah, I mean, I think with the Anna Delvey thing, it kind of is ironic that she was trying so hard to like fit in with like the upper crust, like socialite scene. and she became a scammer because of it. And
Yeah.
now,
And she's more known than she ever is.
Exactly. It like worked for her. She got a Netflix TV show made about herself. Like, it really worked for her. With Jen Shah, I don't know. I think that Jen Shah will be a little bit limited being in prison for 6.5 years. I think that,
Yeah,
that's a little
Sophie,
limiting.
do you ever get on? I was telling the audience I get on prison TikTok now, and like they have it doesn't look great, like it doesn't look fancy at all, but you can do whatever you like. This guy was making some of the best breakfast burritos I'd ever seen. He had attached the grill to his light in his, like he wired it so the grill, like he had a heating grill where he was making breakfast burritos in his cell, and they looked awesome.
Wait, okay. What I came across Prison Talk, but my question is, are they allowed to have iPhones?
No, but somebody must sneak them in because they're always TikToking.
Where do they get exactly? How are they always TikToking? If I could have my phone in prison, that would not be that bad. Game over.
Game over.
Lock
Like,
me up.
Are you kidding me?
Clank. No.
Clink. Yeah.
I always say
Jen,
that.
by the way, is gonna love the time away. She's not gonna have to keep up with the Joneses. She's like, I just get to sit here. Like, are you kidding me?
If I couldn't have my iPhone, that would get dicey.
Yeah.
I think that in that scenario, I would be like, what do I do? What do I do with my hands? How do I keep myself occupied? If I'm just laying on
What do I do with my hands?
I'm just laying on like a cot on my phone all day, like I can just do that. But I imagine
I could do 10 years. I could do 10 years easy, like easy.
It would go by so fast if you're just like scrolling.
Yes. Put screw money on my books. Put it onto like an Apple gift card or something. I could buy apps and stuff. Like you could play games. You could do that Duolingo and learn a language. There's so many cool things you can do on your phone that like everybody makes fun of you when you're on your phone too much, or at least in my life they do. Like my parents will make fun of me. But if I was in prison, people would encourage me to be on my phone. Of like, you have nothing else to do, brother. Hit it up. You can do HBO Max on there. Everything.
Right. Oh my God. Exactly. I always say also, and I've definitely said this before on here, that like house arrest does not sound bad to me.
No. Oh, are you kidding me? I've been on house arrest for imposed house arrest. Are you kidding?
I know, it's like voluntary house arrest. It's like my life already.
By the way, if we ever do something really bad, I'm going to argue to the judge, like, is there a way we could do like retro action where like I stayed in like the house for like the last 3 years, kind of? Is there any way, does that count towards it at all? I will actually really quick. I just wanted your opinion on this, back to Salt Lake, but this goes for all Housewives shows, including Potomac. Andy does this like thing where I'm getting annoyed at Bravo. I'm getting annoyed at Bravo for a lot of reasons right now, but this reason, like, why do we, the audience, like they're allowed to just lie as much as they want. And then Andy will be like, let's take a look at a clip. And the audience will see the clip of them like saying the thing that they said they never said, but it doesn't matter that but also like, I don't care if we see it. Andy, make them watch it. I want Andy to make them watch the clip in front of us. Like, cause why are they showing us? We like, they're just allowed to lie.
Are you talking about during the reunion?
During the reunion, when they're like, did you ever say this, Meredith? And she's like, I never did. And then we see a clip where she did.
I always thought they were showing the clips to them.
Because they never argue.
I was like half paying attention during the Salt Lake City reunion because I just like literally don't care, and it was so boring. Wait, so like what did Meredith say that she didn't say?
So like it was saying something, I think it was like it was multiple times during it, but like one was about Lisa Barlow and the SEC filing and all that stuff, and Meredith kept saying like, I never said that. And then it would cut to a clip that we would watch, but she wouldn't watch it. And it was like, we already know Meredith's lying. The point is to get Meredith to say, well, yeah, now looking back, I realize I said that, but I didn't mean it. So we don't really even get this kind of explanation from Meredith. And that's why this season is so unsatisfying, because there's never any kind of explanation for any of their behavior, not just Heather's black eye, the whole show. And then Jen Shah picks up the fucking phone. They call Jen Shah. Meredith's like, I'll call Jen right now. And Lisa's like, please do. And then they get Jen Shah on the phone after she wouldn't come. Like, I don't want to hear your voice.
I need to know why, like, what does Jen Shaw now have on Meredith? And like, I know Heather is just like blindly loyal, but like, where did this Meredith loyalty come from? Like, I don't understand.
I think she must be supplying fabric to like Brooks. I don't know. Like it makes no sense at all because Meredith used to like take glee in Jen Shaw's destruction. Remember in the bathtub last season when Mary Cosby
Yes.
came in and she was ecstatic?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Nothing about this season made sense, basically.
No, that it's like David Lynch, like Alice in Wonderland, down the rabbit hole. Do you think $721,000 is a lot of money for a year?
Yeah. No,
You had
that's
to
like
think
what
about
I
that?
make in a month. That's what I make in a month.
Well, that's what Coach
Pocket
Shaw
change.
makes as a coach. That's what Coach Shaw made as a coach last season. And that was with bonuses. Like, if you make that much money, like, really shame on you for ever stealing this. And also, Jen had been doing this for
Right.
10 years. Like, this wasn't something that just started when the show started. Okay, I'm too angry about this. Hey, I have a question. This Pete Davidson is now dating this Chase Suey, who is his co-star in Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. And like, I'm happy that they look happy. They're always like photographed kissing now and stuff. But are you kind of a little disappointed that he didn't like this? Like, she's obviously like, she's a movie actor and stuff, and that's cool. But like, I feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this isn't, I wanted him to like, I wanted Hillary Clinton. I wanted somebody big.
No, I like this. I like this for him. I am so, because how like just predictable is it at this point that like the next like bombshell is going to be dating Pete Davidson? It's like a boring
Yeah.
cliche. This is like, okay, you're a normal human. You're not just like some AI like PR robot. So yeah, no, I like this for them. She seems cute. I still haven't watched Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. I need to. I've seen Megan
I like it
twice
a lot.
now.
Dude, isn't Megan so fun?
Megan is so good. I saw it in theaters. It was worth seeing it in theaters because like it's an audience experience. And
Yes.
like everyone's like cracking up the entire
when
time.
when she sings the songs, it's hysterical.
Good night, Katie. My favorite line is, I've got a new primary user now. Me. Anyway, I saw it in theaters, and then I was with my parents this past week, and I rented it for $20 on Amazon just to watch with my parents again.
You made your parents watch Megan?
Yeah, they wanted to watch it. They were excited, and they loved it.
Did Amy like it? Okay, that's what I would. By the way, that's the kind I want to have Amy on just to talk about Megan. Your mom would be like a good 5-minute movie review from your mom.
You actually, I feel like she would be like an entertaining person to talk about like entertainment with because she's super into like sci-fi, like the alien movies. She's watching that new Star Trek show that has like the commercials everywhere. She loves
Picard.
Like aliens. Yeah, Picard, starring Zachary Quinto. She just like loves like alien outer space stuff.
I love it too. It's really, but you know what I saw, which was Alien Outer Space, but like not, was Tar with Cate Blanchett. That's on streaming on Peacock right now, and Cate Blanchett got nominated for Best Actress. It's a really intense movie. I think most people will absolutely hate, but I kind of dug it. Did you watch it yet?
No, I need to watch it. I really want to watch it. That's like another one that's on my list.
And I saw Dear People on Friday, and I also watched Shotgun Wedding, and that is a weird 1-2 punch. Dear People's with Jonah Hill and Eddie Murphy on Netflix, and Shotgun Wedding is on Prime.
You People.
Yeah, You People. Yeah, You People. What was I saying?
I said Dear People.
Oh, I was saying Dear Evan People. Yeah, no.
People. I watched You People also, and it was so bad. It was so bad, and it was. Like,
I liked aspects of it. Like, the cast was so good, and I think part of it is just as a bigger guy, I just now like I just want to dress like Jonah Hill, like I'm just like I really was just fascinated with his wardrobe the entire film. Like, I want to be able to afford Jonah Hill clothes. I never thought I would say that.
Yeah, no, the cast was great, and it was like wasted, and there were just so many like just offensive stereotypes, I think.
Well, it's like really heavy conversations, and it's hard because they don't really do it delicately. So it asks a lot of that movie to do, and they don't really, it
Right,
doesn't
but
fully
then
succeed.
nothing about like anti-Semitism is ever brought up, and the fact that we're like the Jewish family is supposed to act like a Louis Farrakhan supporter is just something they have to tolerate, rather than something that actually is like threatening to them. Because if you don't know who Louis Farrakhan is, he's a virulent anti-Semite who calls Jews termites.
Kanye's a big fan. Kanye's a big fan.
Right. So it's like the fact that that was just like something that was just like, it was just a blip. It's just something they have to tolerate moving forward. I'm like, no, I don't.
It was like a
that.
funny little scene with Eddie Murphy, and his kufi ends up on fire, and it's but you want to talk about bad. You got to watch this Shotgun Wedding. It has no. There's no.
Yeah, I heard it was very silly.
Will Jennifer Lopez ever make a movie that goes into the theaters again? Like she did this last year with Marry Me, and people really loved that. This was so, and like this Josh Duhamel, no offense to him, he's a really good looking dude, but Armie Hammer was supposed to play this part. This is the movie that Armie got let go of when all this shit broke a couple of years ago. He was supposed to film this.
Yes. Wait, so my mom actually watched it. I didn't watch it with her, and she said it was like very silly. But it's like that, and I went on a rant. I went on a rant to her about how Jennifer Lopez, it's always the same like rom-com. Yeah, like Marry Me. Yeah. Like
she loves marriage like Usher loves to go to the club. She loves a movie about marriage. This lady's been married over 80 times on film. And like, this has been the big theme of, it was Marry Me, getting married to Ben Affleck, and now Shotgun. Oh, did you?
Wait, sorry. Yeah.
You froze. You froze for you guys. She froze, and it looked like Megan because she just smiled really big, and then it froze on the smile. And I was like, "Holy shit, she's like a robot."
I've got a new primary user now. Me. But wait.
Yeah, Shotgun Wedding. Shotgun Wedding.
Yeah, it's always the same like formula. I don't know. I'm not interested really.
But it got so ridiculous at the end. I started liking how and Lenny Kravitz is in it, you guys. And you would think like Lenny Kravitz just pops up as a cameo. No, Lenny Kravitz is actually a big part of the film, and I wasn't prepared for that. Like that was like super weird to me. I didn't know. I was like, I kept thinking it was a joke, and then he actually had some like really intense scenes, and I was like, oh, that's weird. I just didn't expect it. I've got some interesting. Okay, so this weekend I watched the premiere of Summer House and Vanderpump Rules. Sophie, I've seen the beginning.
Oh my god! What? When do I start getting screeners?
Well, I don't know what I'm allowed to say and all that stuff, and I don't want to bum any. Well, Vanderpump Rules, I really liked the first episode, and Summer House is going to have a long season. It starts rough, and the new characters are. I just don't know how you get rid of Andrea and Luke and then have the new, like, I just wanted more episodes right away because the best part of it was Kyle does a bunch of solo scenes in the kitchen by himself again, and it's hysterical, but it's like Kyle is doing heavy lifting already in this first episode.
Wait, tell me more about it. Like what else was rough about it?
I don't know what I'm allowed. I don't see, like, it sets up stuff for like the rest of the season should be amazing, but the whole thing is what we kind of see in the preview is like Lindsay and Carl are together, Amanda. So you have all of these couples kind of, and then it's mainly girls. There's all new girls. They only bring in one new guy. He has a big toothy smile, really nice guy, but like Carl's like sober and he's really like doing that amazing Carl stuff. Lindsay, Lindsay's already rubbing the girls wrong. And Kyle is kind of lost because he feels like he's losing his best friend, which he never thought he would feel. And it's really sad right off the jump. Like there were like moments where I was like super bummed, but then there's so many good places it's going to go. And like a lot of the cast isn't even there in this episode. So it's just really weird. It's really, really weird. Vanderpump Rules by comparison is really funny and fun. And Peter, it makes me laugh very much in the first episode. Peter Madrigal makes a big comeback. And
oh my God.
Great.
We love Peter.
Yeah. I'll text. Yeah, I'm going to text you something. So I think that's going to be amazing. It was just really like, I realized how much I've depended on like Summer House and shows like that for my own happiness. And I just wasn't prepared to be sad after watching Summer House last night. So just prepare yourself, guys. I mean, it's completely worth watching. It just made me sad.
I'm so curious. I think,
Yeah.
I'll tell. Yeah. I want you to tell me like offline if you can't like share anything on the air. Yeah. But I got weird vibes from like the trailer. I did.
Yeah, dude, that's what you said when we were on 2 weeks ago. And like, it is true. Like it, but I will say there's a lot of stuff that they have set up where you like, oh, this is going to pay off big. Like this will be, but it's just not like they start where it's like summer is fun. Like you feel like everybody's like trudging into the summer. Like everybody is, and I truly, and it's weird. I had Kyle on this week and like it was mainly for the Traders, which is on Peacock right now, but I threw in a couple of things and I threw like, are you and Carl okay? And like, it was kind of danced around. And then after watching this, I'm like, I wonder if they are okay. Like, I wonder, there was just, it just like, there was something when I talked to him that I was like, oh, something seems, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I really don't know what happens. Wait, but did you on Rugged season 4, which you were talking about earlier, Ultimate Girls Trip season 4, Brandy got sent home. Well, Brandy got sent home and Caroline Manzo got sent home, but Caroline got sent home. She let herself go. She was given the option and she decided to leave. But Brandy, there's so many rumors going around about this, so I want to be careful talking about it. But these only shoot for like 9 days, I believe. So everybody else came home today. They just came home like a day and a half early. But Brandy being Brandy, supposedly did something really crazy to Caroline, but they didn't get into a physical fight. There wasn't like fists thrown from what I'm hearing. But Brandy, think about what she did on Girls Trip season 2. Think about the tactic she used in that upset people. What I'm hearing is she used another tactic like that. If it's a tactic or it's just her, I don't know. And Caroline just went crazy from what I understand, but I'm not sure.
She like gets in people's faces. She knows exactly what to say to like get under your skin and take it too far. And I can see women that have not been around that. And also like Caroline Manzo and Alex McCord, for instance, have been so out of the game for so long at this point. Like you're putting yourself back in that like the most toxic situation you could possibly put yourself in with this cast.
Brandy wants to earn a living. So like Caroline and Alex are going up against somebody like that is like in the like somebody that's on steroids almost. Like she is trained to kill. Like Brandy wants to be back on Beverly Hills so bad, and she's celebrated for her bad behavior. So I don't know, like these women walking in, like I just don't think, I'm shocked Alex was still there. Alex made it through the whole time. But like, yeah, like Caroline was just like, I don't need this shit. There was rumors that Brandy threw out the name Dina, Caroline's sister. Brandy pays attention to Housewives. She's like a Tamra in that way, where she pays attention to everything. So I don't know, like, where do you fall on that? Like with Housewives in the future, you have all of these women wanting to get back on the show that they do. Like Kelly Dodd says the gnarliest shit out there, but like it takes away from actually getting to know any of these women sometimes. Like I like Brandy sometimes, but then sometimes I'm like, dude, I can only take her in doses.
Yeah, I do like Brandy. I think that there is such a thin line between like you are trying to put on a show because this is your job, you're getting paid to entertain viewers, versus like being so thirsty and producing, like we were talking about with Heather, for instance.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do enjoy watching Brandy. I think that Tamra will be an interesting litmus test for this, because she was someone that was, like we talked about, at the end of her reign on OC, she was like so overly produced and so not fun to watch anymore. And all like during the off season, I'm still in sports mode, you guys. I'm just sporty. During the off season, like when she when she like wasn't on Housewives for a couple of years, she made it her mission to get back on Housewives with the podcast, Two Twats in a Pod. What do you call it?
No, it's called Twats. I mean, the official title is Two T's in the Pod, but it's Twats.
Two Twats in a Pod. I like that better. So two twats in a pod. Like, I think Tamara will be an interesting litmus test because she could be so like desperate seeming and very like producer role, which we don't want to see, or she could just be genuinely naturally entertaining. I don't know if that makes sense. It's
Rinna. It's Rinna as well. Rinna did the same thing.
Yes,
it's like these ladies get to a point where they're so celebrated for being maniacs that they don't know how to really actually be real anymore. Like you have to like show a little bit of realness to actually earn being insane, if that makes sense, on these shows. And I feel like these people watch these shows now too much. And I'm talking about the cast members where they don't come up with original things. They're literally using it like a game like Survivor, where they're going to be like, I'm going to bring up your family, or I'm going to try to hit on you and get you upset. I'm going to try, like they try to do things that will needle the other person to get a reaction. And so then it's not fun. I don't think any of these older ladies not older ladies, but ladies that are OG that have not been back in a long time, like Caroline, I don't think there's any reason for them to really truly come back unless they're really down on their luck, because why do this to yourself and your family?
Right. I don't know. It's yeah.
What did you think? I didn't get to ask you, and I didn't check your Twitter that day, or I should have, but like, what did you think about the lion's head on Kylie and because I've heard so many different opinions about these shows, and one was like, oh, that's disgusting. And one was, look at the beautiful detail work. It wasn't a real lion she was wearing as a brooch on her dress. But it was funny because there was that one video of Kylie watching the other lady with the same lion's head. Irina Shayk, did you see that video where Kylie was like, oh, I didn't realize there'd be another person with the exact same lion head on her brooch?
It was on the runway. It was on the runway,
yes,
right?
It was, yeah. Irina Shayk came down with the same lion head and Kylie was like, what?
At first, okay, so like I knew right away, it looked so realistic, but I knew right away it wasn't real, that it was just like a very, very detailed replica of a lion's head. So it's like no lion was harmed, but I think right away I was like, it's kind of weird because you're like glorifying like a dead animal's head. Like that's kind of weird. And then like a lot of people were like, well, actually, it's really showing that you don't need to kill animals to get these heads if you're into that kind of thing. Because look, they didn't even have to kill a lion to get this exact detailed.
I remember back in the old days, if I wanted to wear a lion's head, I had to get one. I had to go poach an animal. I had to go do it the hard way. And now
yourself. Yeah, they're like, who? Because at first I had that thought where I was like, you're just gonna like influence people to like poach, and people are like, who is Kylie Jenner influencing to go poaching in the African Sahara?
that's the new Tarte influencer trip. Is like, come poach with us. Like you see all your favorite TikTokers animal hunt. Like, by the way, I'm joking, obviously, you guys, but
wait, we're joking, but like that actually is hilarious to think about.
I mean, that's a movie right there. They get lost in the jungle trying to poach, and then they end up having to really fight. It's like a Yellow Jackets then. They have to like fight for their lives.
Wait, it's like the hashtag is like poaching with Tarte.
Tarochin. Patarochin. I don't know. That's a really great idea. We actually might have just come up with like a movie idea.
Oh my God.
Speaking of, actually, also the other thing that I thought was funny was, and I made a meme of this of like how many times Kylie grabs her boobs in her, like it's one of her signature like poses, like grabbing her boobs. And then she like had like, now she's smoking, you guys, and she had a cigarette and touching her boobs. And I love that, like, what is Kylie, like 24, 25? Like, I love that Kylie's going through a smoking cigarettes phase. Like, it's just funny. Like, we all go through these phases in our lives. It's just that like hers is so public when she does even like the littlest things. And I'm like, well, that's cute, Kylie. And cigarette's not cute, but it's cute that she's going through a cigarette phase.
I don't like that cigarettes are suddenly making a comeback personally. Not loving that.
No, I don't mean like let's all smoke, but I just think it's funny that
I know.
like,
I just think in general, I feel like all of a sudden smoking cigarettes is like trendy again. When did
Yeah,
that
because
happen?
everybody's sick of the vaping. So now it's like everybody going back to vinyl. Like everybody's going back to the original way to listen to music with vinyl. And I think the same thing with potentially vaping. What did you think of this Doja Cat? This Doja Cat really loves to put on the costumes.
Oh, I've been loving it. I saw someone kind of compare her to like 2010s Lady Gaga, which is,
Yeah.
I
Totally,
feel like that's
totally.
a fair comparison. We need someone who takes those fashion risks and puts on a show, and I love it. I'm into it.
But didn't the red, like Swarovski, how do you say it? Swarovski. How do you say the Swarovski crystal?
Swarovski?
Like it was like 10,000 crystals and she was like painted red. I mean, show
Right.
your dude this, like show your dude and go, like, just ask him, like, does this scare the crap out of you? Because it scared the crap out of me. Like I keep thinking about her red, bald with the crystals all over.
But she's not doing it for straight men. She's doing it for like the fashion.
Wait, what? Wait, what are you talking about? You're not doing it. And also the other one, she dresses the dude with the little pencil thin mustache.
Yeah, but she was using falsies, like fake eyelashes for like her mustache. It was so funny. It was like funny. She's not catering to the male gaze. That's feminism.
You know what? That's a great point.
She would never.
Wait, Emily Ratajkowski she's like dating Eric Andre. They went on like another date.
Yeah, I'm into that. I like that for her. But yeah, no, Emily Ratajkowski is just an example I use as someone who talks a big game, but at the same time is constantly pandering to the male gaze. Constantly.
Oh, dude, she's made the majority, like the Daily Mail, there's been so many, like, it's like every day it's a different bikini with Emily Ratajkowski, even from the beginning. Like I knew about her. We all like started knowing about her because of the Blurred Lines video, Robin Thicke. And then I remember she was like weekly in the Daily Mail in a new bikini. And I'm sure it's like her playing like, Rocket Man by Elton John. It's one of her greatest hits. But at a certain point, I just think we get like, okay, it's another bikini. Like I become totally desensitized to it.
Yeah, well, okay, so to be fair, she has a bikini line, like a company, a brand.
What's it called?
Bikinis. Inamorata. Inamorata is her brand. I haven't bought anything from it. I have thought that it's like really cute, but it's like overpriced a little bit for like a little string bikini. I'm like, I don't need to spend like, $150 on a bikini. But okay, so there's that. Just getting that out of the way. It's like she's always wearing a bikini. She also is trying to sell them. So like that's fine. She apparently on her like one of her most recent podcast episodes, I haven't listened to it, but I was like reading about it online. And apparently she like is talking about the paparazzi, how the paparazzi are always like following her and chasing her. And like the Daily Mail stories, I'm like, Emily, how does Beyonce go under the radar? Like you never are like seeing Daily Mail stories of Beyonce. You're never like seeing the paparazzi shots of Beyonce and Jay-Z on date nights.
You see it like occasionally from other people of like, yo, Beyonce and Jay-Z were at this restaurant I was just at. They just walked in. Yeah.
Yes, but not the professional paparazzi shots with the whole feature in the Daily Mail. We're on to you, Emily.
She's the Bronwyn Wyndham Burke of supermodels. I'm joking. Also, just really, as we start winding down, this is already going way too quick. I was thinking about this, and I don't want to get into the Kardashians, but I do want to bring up, you just mentioned Beyonce, and I was thinking about the Dubai concert she got paid $24 million for, and Blue Ivy even came out for one of the songs. Now, I'm not going to talk about really like if she should have done it because of the LGBTQ policies that Dubai have in place that really are completely unfair, and they need to abolish those. But what I do want to say is that interesting, and I'm just thinking about Blue Ivy, is that how North does so many TikToks? Like it's her thing. Like she loves doing it. Like her and mom does with her. Kim and North do TikToks. you just have a feeling Beyonce would like fucking freak out if Blue Ivy ever picked up TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Like if you compare the two, and I'm not saying one's worse than the other. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it's very reminiscent of think about how they got their fame to begin with. Beyonce got her fame by really working at the craft of singing, dancing, all of that stuff. Kim worked the craft of celebrity. She worked so like North is already so visible to the eye in terms of pop culture, whereas Blue Ivy is so restrained, but her mom is also restrained. Her mom does like secret album releases. Her mom, like you said, isn't calling Backrid to do photo shoots at a restaurant. And I just think it's interesting, even looking at their kids. And like I said, I'm not saying one is better than the other. It's just interesting that their moms represent who I think their kids are also taking notes from. And if you see Blue Ivy and North, it's very different in the way they walk through entertainment so far, which I know is insane to say because they're kids, but they both obviously want to be a part of pop culture, or they seem to be. Like Blue Ivy wants to be up on stage to a degree, and North loves TikTok and wants to be a part of pop culture.
How old is North now? I guess she turns 10 this year, right?
Yeah, 10, yeah.
She's 9 going on 10. That still is crazy to me. I mean, I assume she shares the account with her mom, with Kim.
Yeah, her mom approves everything that she, posts and all that stuff, but she still lets her post it.
It's still like, it's sad.
It's weird.
She's only, she's only
it's just
9
something I
years
keep thinking
old.
about.
You don't need to be on social media this early in life. Please do yourself a favor. That's why I totally understand. I support a Blue Ivy not being on social media until she's like 18.
But I like that Blue Ivy, like, this is so sad. I like that Blue Ivy picks her moments. Like, she's like, Dubai concert? Sure, I'll do a song with mom. Like, I like that, like, she's very, or her parents are very picky for her. I like the fact that Jay-Z, I don't know, it's just something that I was trying to like think of the two, because they're very reminiscent in like terms of popularity, but it's just very different in how they got there, Kim and Beyonce. And if you look down at other generations of both of these families, it'll be really interesting to see both of them grow up. I think it's going to be fascinating and hopefully not as scary as I think it possibly could.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Sophie, huge news for you, for all of us. March 24th and March 26th, mark it down in your calendars. We have Yellow Jackets Season 2 premiering March 24th on Showtime, and March 26th, Succession Season 4. So they both dropped that same weekend. You were like, and then we'll have those shows for the next 2 months. And I am so excited. Did you watch the Succession preview this week?
I'm so excited. I watched the preview like 4 times in a row because it was so funny.
Yeah, it makes me happy.
I'm so ready for Succession.
Yeah, no, I'm so mark your calendars, guys. I think that's going to be amazing. What are you working on for the Substack this week? Are you going to talk about the joys and heartbreaks of being a fan?
Oh my God, I actually have such an ADHD Substack that I'm in the middle of writing, and I'm writing about 25 different things. So you're going to have to see. Let me actually open the doc that I am working in right now.
The Hannah Ann Sluss from The Bachelor got engaged this week.
Yes, she did get engaged. Okay, so Alec Baldwin officially charged with involuntary manslaughter for the Rush shooting. And I read a really interesting New York Times article about the fact that he completely fucked himself, even though he is guilty. He is guilty. Yeah. It's clear that he did something wrong.
He pulled the trigger, involuntary manslaughter.
He did not have to talk to the police without a lawyer present. He talked to the police. He probably thought, I'm a celebrity. Like, there's not actually going to be consequences. He talked to the police for hours without a lawyer present. And that article, is a New York Times article, was super interesting. It's like, never, ever, it doesn't matter if you're guilty or innocent or thought you did nothing wrong or just want to help. Never talk to the police without a lawyer.
Even the Idaho killer was like, you know what? I'm going to stop talking to you right now. Like, even he was like, I'm not going to talk to you guys any further after the first question.
Right. Like, it's just, I imagine that he was probably like, oh, it's not, I mean, I was just handed the gun. I just want to help out. I don't know. I don't pretend to know what's going on in Alec Baldwin's chaotic mind. But like, just never talk to the police, even if you're trying to help. And also that video of Hilaria, she was like still still to this day has the accent.
Like it's gained strength. Like it's like a like it's gotten stronger than I gave up on the Hilaria stuff like a year ago, and now I thought it had gone away, but it came back with a vengeance. And know what, I think you actually, because you get into a lot of discourse and discussions with actual people, like I posted that video, and now on Instagram it has 1.3 million views on the Hilaria video I posted. Everybody's posted it, but like this one got 1.3 million. And you know what's really disheartening is, like, I even say in this, I'm not talking about kids being followed by paparazzi. She is right. They should not do that. What I'm talking about is the accent, how strong it is. And I thought, and people don't ever, but then it's like, I'm still to this day, every day I'm getting at least 100 hate comments towards Hilaria and 100 hate comments towards people that hate Hilaria. And like, these people are just fighting and going at it in the comments. And I'm like, I don't even interact anymore, but I'm just like, holy fuck. Like, it's because none of it's like smart discourse. None of it's like, it's just really base, like, oh, I fucking hate her, send her back to Spain, or I fucking, and it's really, it gets sad on a whole nother level than the accent itself. Does it make sense?
Right. Yes, it definitely makes sense. All of it is just bizarre. And it's more bizarre when you think about the fact that they have 70 children and a newborn, just like
I forgot it was 70. So
the one that was just born is Hilaria with an I, Hilaria, I think.
Yeah.
And she's not pregnant again yet.
Like, I mean, let's see what happens to Alec.
Okay. But yeah, so yeah.
Did you? Would you ever, like, she was doing these messages on her shirt, like it said empathy and like these words. Is there a word that you would put on a shirt that would, like, I wish I could walk around New York with this and it would explain who I am as a person or what I want people to be to me?
Wait.
I just figured you would have an answer for this, where you would be like, I would write girl boss on my sweatshirt, or I would write, like, is there a word? And how many words is Hilaria going to keep having printed on sweatshirts?
The fact that she has the audacity to wear a sweatshirt that says empathy. She was wearing another one. What was the other one that she was wearing? I don't know. But either way, your husband is literally getting charged for killing someone. How do you think that family feels? Like, I mean, what about empathy for them?
But do you think Alec, because it was a week ago that she posted this, it was like a week ago Friday that this happened. And so like 10 days have passed and she's kind of chilled out this week. And do you think Alec was like, yo, you're not helping shit? Like, yo, like, was like, do you think he told her in Spanish of like, please chill out, Hilaria? Like, this is not helping my case right now. People are like actually more upset about the accent than what I did potentially. She went quiet. So hopefully she's kind of paying attention that it might not be the smartest to be like giving statements to anybody.
I wonder that every day. Like, what were those conversations like? Those early days of Alec finding out that Hilaria isn't from Spain. Like, yeah. What were those, like, does he just like still let her like?
Yes, he does. He lets her like be Spanish. He just lets her do that. It's like if I would all of a sudden decided I was Megan, the android robot, like, and then I found somebody that was willing to let me be like, you know, if you ever watch those My Strange Addictions on like TN, like they have this horrible show, like somebody ate a couch cushion, like mine would be like, hers is like lying to the public about Spain, and he just accepted it. But there was a time where he must not have known, because he was going on talk shows and he was like, and he was doing his wife's like humongous accents. And then if you watch those old clips from her, it really is worth watching, because she was going on things like teaching people how to flamenco dance, and like, it's like, it's a huge thing. Like, that's why people don't realize, it's fascinating how somebody would do this for so long and not be called out on it.
I know, it's hilarious. It's wild.
I hope she doesn't get sent back to my
family.
Shit. I'm sorry.
My family lives in Mallorca.
Wait, by the way, you guys are like, also people are so misinformed. They're like, well, she grew up in Spain. And I'm like, she did not grow up in Spain. She went to
She didn't
vacation
grow
in
up
Spain.
in
She was
Spain at all.
she was never enrolled in school in Spain, you guys. Her parents did vacation in Spain, and her parents do. They're in Mallorca right now, but they did not grow up in Spain. Like, it's like I went to Hawaii once. I don't think I'm like from like the elders are not like I'm not Jen Shaw, like with the elders in Hawaii, you know?
Right. Exactly.
But finally, so to close this out, we just got word today. Page 6 says the Roni Legacy reboot with all like Dorinda and Luann is not going to happen now. It is becoming too costly in terms of what the ladies want. I personally think like everybody's already going that this is gospel. Guys, we got to quit this shit. Like Page 6, like they, corporations will put these things in there just so they can use it as a bargaining tactic and freak these ladies out potentially. Like, I think Roni Legacy is going to completely happen. Do you read this stuff and kind of laugh too? Or are you like, holy shit?
No, I genuinely was like, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't happen.
I mean,
like, I just don't think it, I don't think that what the women, the original women have turned into in terms of like what they want out of a contract, like, is it worth it? Is it worth it for Bravo to fork over like the millions that they're probably demanding? I believe it. Maybe I'm gullible.
This is why, but I believe that Bravo is putting this out there so it'll put them on their heels. So by the time they do agree to filming, it's going to be at a less price and their egos are going to take a hit. And it's going to be funny because it's going to be all these ladies kind of like wanting to be good again. And I think that's fascinating from a different angle. I just think these ladies are too popular to not have them come back, but I think Bravo will not pay a certain price. So I think they're going to meet somewhere in the middle. I just think this is a tactic used in negotiation to freak the other side out. I think this will definitely happen.
You're probably right.
Money involved.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Sophie, when's So True coming back for the 3rd season?
TBD, you guys. TBD.
Fuck! Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry. I've been I started my new job a couple months ago. I've been like getting settled, super, super busy. But stay tuned, you guys.
Is it going good?
You'll be the first note. Yeah, it's going great. But yeah, I've just been
your old company is floundering without you. I saw some copy the other day. I was like, this isn't Sophie copy. Are you kidding me?
I know they're really struggling. But no, I'm kidding, obviously. But yeah, you guys will be the first to know. Sorry if I was like a little down this episode.
Guys, I expected her to be way more down. So this actually
I feel like my voice has been very like it's been very like shaky. I feel like I'm like on the verge of tears. Like as soon as we hang up, I'm gonna like burst into tears.
Okay. So we're gonna go. You guys have a great week. We'll be doing episodes all week, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay. Bye.
Bye, guys.